Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. In this episode, I want to talk about the latest update with my setup to generate AI images. So currently, I'm using ComfyUI. ComfyUI, the latest ComfyUI, actually allowing you to use sampler LCM. So LCM, latent consistency model, can make everything a little bit faster. So in the latest ComfyUI, latest update, if you install it today or update it, you get LCM. So LCM is there, and then you can simply load LoRA that's related to LCM, and depending on your model, whether your model is Stable Diffusion 1.5 or SDXL or SSD1B, which is like SDXL but it's a little bit faster, the LoRa will make it even faster. So so that's the premise of this. So if I required input is missing. Okay, that's funny. Every now and then this thing happens. So with the node base, so I'm just gonna create a few. This piggy, a bunch of little pigs on a bowl. So the AI should generate that, and as we can see, so the node workflow can be slightly tricky, but I will explain the whole process here. So with ComfyUI, everything is nodes. Everything is more visual, just like geometry nodes in Blender, right? It's nodes, node based. As you can see here, it's loading the checkpoints. Currently, I'm using SSD1B, which is I think probably the fastest one. If I use SDXL, it's gonna be maybe better. SDXL with refiner, but it's a little bit more complicated. SSD1B is like SDXL, just a little bit faster. And then I'm using this LoRa. The LoRa, you need to download it. So there are three kind of LoRa: SDXL, SD15. 1.5 is gonna be the fastest if you use 512 by 512, but I'm currently generating this at 1020 by 1024. 1024, yeah, so that's the size of pixel. And the steps in only under 4 steps on my Mac Mini M2, this generates a lot faster, right? Remember, it used to be 10 minutes, and then 4 minutes, 1 minute. Now it's like just a few seconds. It should be like 1 second, 1 frame, 1 second. It's possible, but for now, this is what we have. The seed will be randomized on each generation, so we have this random peak. We can change this is the positive and the negative prompting. Just plug into the K sampler. A bowl of colorful candies. Candy monster. Okay. I like Dadaism, Surrealism, Dadaism. Just both of them. Let's cue them again. So yeah, this will run. It will do its job. Okay, it's gonna make colorful candies. This is the Python running, and I think each generation now takes around 6 seconds. It should be around 1 second, ideally. So what's next? JSON stuff. The funky things about ComfyUI is whatever image being generated, if you just drag and drop it, it will recreate the nodes for you automatically. So the node is saved with the image, which is pretty cool. You can save the JSON, the workflow, or you can also save as API format. With the API format, you're gonna get this. So you save the file into download. For example, here I have this multiple JSON. If you save it as API format, what's gonna happen is that with the JSON, it's gonna have numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, which is nice because you can you can now you can modify this on the fly using Python. For example, if I want to reload the workflow using Python and I want to modify some of these numbers, I can do that pretty easily. For example, I can change this on the fly using Python. So talking about Python, we can, as we already know, in Blender, remember, we have this setup from previous video as well, where we have a bunch of text. Okay, this is like if you're writing 16 images, this is in relations to an idea of Kamishibai. Okay, Kamishibai in Japan, paper theater in Japanese form. It's a form of storytelling in the past. Even nowadays, maybe you still have this. I really think this has relationship with AI image generations. Okay, it's about telling stories. So I don't know why Kamishibai has AI at the end there. Kami means paper, Kami-sama means God. Kamishibai, I don't know, it's a form of storytelling. Anyway, it's image that tells story, right? So I really think it's like a manga artist telling stories. This is actually really cool. I think I really the setup in Blender. Remember, you can actually use Dream Texture that simply loads this image, and file batch and make this nerd story. Just load the text. It's gonna generate it for you. You don't need to worry about nodes and stuff. It's gonna create something like this. I will run this one anyway. Run this. I think by doing that, I'm sending some job. Okay, 16 jobs to ComfyUI because it's running in the background, and I should get some result. And every 6 seconds, I will get an output. Okay, this is my nerd story. Some nerd guy typing away on a computer. Click clack, click clack. Like in Kamishibai, when you're telling a story, you make sounds. That's why it's more interesting. And then suddenly, a mecha dinosaurs appear in front of him. Maybe it's virtual dinosaurs. I don't know. Maybe it's his imaginations, but maybe in his nice workplace, the window is open and suddenly a dinosaur appears. He was so excited. So, or I don't know. In my script, I actually say the nerd runs out of the door to catch up with the beautiful robot dino. Sours. Yeah, beautiful robot dino. I think I scripted like that. I will run this again. So every time I click that, it's gonna regenerate, randomize the stuff. So dinosaurs appear. Dinosaurs looks happy. And then supposedly this nerd guy talking to the dinosaurs. Okay, of the nerd. I think it should say the nerd guy every single time. So I think the AI composition, of course, is very basic. You can say it's like a flat kind of storyboard style of visualizations. But if you go into DALL-E might be actually creating something that's more interesting. But anyway, they made up. It's supposed to be the nerd guy made up with the dinosaurs. They become friends. They have a date at the cafe, and then they walk together, having fun, watching Netflix, cooking together, dancing together, talk about the future, and getting married and wedding, and and then it starts again. Back to the nerd. dinosaurs appear, and it stops there. I think it's still going now. It's trying to create a perspective each time, but that's the idea. That's the idea, right? If you use Bing is of course like currently it's like a free, it's just for fun. Oil painting of a nerd typing away at his computer. I'm using the oil painting because I want it to be stylized somehow, and kind of like generic stylized oil painting. Nerd typing away, you know, daydreaming in front of computer. That's what we do most of the time. Dinosaurs appear. Okay. Nerd guy runs out the door to catch up with the beautiful robot dinosaurs. Okay. Could be like some kind of virtual dino, or like a real physical robot dino. We don't know, but you just want to see it. DALL-E is of course much better in this. It's trying to create something out of this. Yeah, it's a little bit more imaginative. Beautiful dino there. And you can make sounds when you're generating this. This one is also quite nice. So, but that's basically the idea. Creating stories based on this setup. If I want this to be a little bit faster, okay, let's see. Or I'll use Google Bard. Sometimes I use Perplexity, but I think Google Bard is a little bit funnier. Create a simple story under 20 prompt. Create a simple story about a character, a robot character named Grok, who dreams to build a rocket to Mars. Simple story about a robot character named Grok who dreams to build a rocket to Mars. Right. This is the story. Curious, intelligent, tirelessly work. Okay, it's a basic story. Now, reimagine the story, but create it as 20 visual prompt text. 20 visual prompts. Turn this into prompts. Okay, yeah, separating it like this. Simplify the shots and just summarize into 20 text numbers. All right. I actually prefer the first one. ChatGPT might do this a little bit better. Turn this story into 20 visual prompts. ChatGPT 3.5. Copy paste that. Right, this is better. Image of Grok, the unique robot. Blah blah blah. Grok. Create new text. Call it Grok. Paste it there. Okay, I haven't explained the Python, but I will use Grok here. Get the text. Send it to ComfyUI. Let me explain the Python inside Blender. Import BPY JSON request. ComfyUI address is the default. ComfyUI server that's currently running. So this is the JSON stuff. We're gonna send the message to create images. This workflow is the one that we saved earlier. So if you have ComfyUI, you just save as API format and then reload it inside BPY, inside Blender. Create a prompt, empty prompt list, get all the text from this text, and we want the oil painting style. We can actually just replace this with Dadaism style, oil painting, dramatic. Run this again anyway, so it's gonna regenerate. So don't worry about these commented lines. This one is interesting. Case sampler from positive, from negative. I just loaded. Get the nodes from the workflow JSON, and then in here we simply use this variable with the input text, and then with the just randomize the seed, and then yeah, just queue it, and then send the job. That's all. That's all. That's the process. And so far, okay, so we got the grok story happening. This is the dinosaur story. Okay, the nerd typing away. Okay, they chit chat, dating, walking. This is all the, what do you got? It's a generic storytelling, pretty much, but it's it could be like a children's book, sort of, or Kamishibai storytelling with image. Grok, robot with imaginations. Right, this is wrong, right? Suddenly become a human, should be like a robot character, so we have to fix that from. So Grok, image of Grok the unique robot. Grok the little robot. So I have, every time I think I need to specify this. Consistency of character is not, is something that can be refined, so you have to train, you have to train. You have to train your AI probably, because it doesn't remember the previous one, unlike the ChatGPT, it remembers the previous story. This character is like this, you know, it's have to keep it consistent. Run this, send another job. Anyway, it's a character working hard in day and night. This is his dream. He wants to be Rocketeer. It's getting weird, surreal. I like the close-up. Get brilliant ideas. The rocket seems to be walking, landed on Mars. Yeah, and then the rest is just like a photograph. Okay, he's become, oh yeah, he meets alien creatures, or, but it starts again. The story. So it's like repeating. Image of Grok. Working diligently, studying books. Okay, so he's quite a nerd. Envisioning his dream. Close up a Grok. Excited face as he finishes building the gleaming rocket. Okay, Grok climbing to the rocket, preparing for rocket launch sequence with flames and smoke. Take off from Earth. Grok inside the rocket, looking out the fastest. Okay, marveling. Set expression. Leave Mars, return. Okay. Collecting samples, taking picture. Grok little robot meets up with some alien in Mars, on Mars. Happy scene. place of scientific data about Mars, set expression departing from Mars back on planet Earth with crowd, okay, with crowds of scientists, the hero, portrait, self-portrait of Grok. So, oi, let's save this. I think the AI stuff, so making me a little bit, you know, more interested with storytelling visually, or you know, this is like maybe like a progress. So now it's becoming a little bit more surreal and Dadaism, whatever, because it's trying to, because I added in the prompt, I added this Dadaism style, dramatic oil painting style. Maybe it's making things a little bit weird. I'll send it again. It's probably a little bit slower now to generate something. 5 seconds per generations. Yeah, I think I can wait. So that's Grok as human. Sharing the heart. Okay, start again. Grok. Character consistency is not part of this prompt unless you use LoRA to control the look of Mr. Grok here. Anyways, robot working in the workshop. It's quite a nerd, reading books. Aspire to be on the Mars, his imaginations. And then he's excited the rocket's finished. And yeah, because it's a Dadaism is getting really weird. Maybe remove this for now. Watercolor style. I could clear all the queue. Rerun this. If I want this a little bit faster, I could use the different workflow. BS LoRa LCM workflow. I think this one. Copy the path name. It should be that. Okay, that should work. Clear the queue. Send the job. And for the final one, I will clear this, send this job. ComfyUI. So ComfyUI, okay, the output's gonna be here on this folder. But you might see, okay, inside the model, we have things like vague, control net. This is scribble. If I'm actually doodling and using a scribble to control, or maybe like a character design, if I actually have it as a 3D objects, like a block of 3D objects in Blender, that's also something to consider in the future to make the character more consistent, and then the AI needs to be trained. Okay, this block of objects is a character or is some kind of an asset to represent an object. Yeah, that's gonna come. But anyway, LoRa, the most important The new thing here is the 3 days ago is the LoRA that's related to LCM is being released. That's why this is exciting. And then this is the checkpoints for type of models that we are using. Okay, this is the watercolor style using the SD1B, SSD1B, I think the faster SDXL. And then I stop it, right? And I say, okay, I want it to be faster, so I just use the basic one, but a little bit faster. This one generates one every 10 seconds. Oh, one every 1 second, I don't know, just a little bit faster. So we get this kind of visual from the very beginning. Okay, character grow working inside his lab, reading books, dreaming to go to Mars, and then rockets finish, landed on Mars, meeting with Martians, said have to leave the Mars back to planet Earth, tail. The SDXL or this SSD1B is faster one, and it's more clear in terms of composition. So happy character. At the moment, is the prompt will generate the visuals, and this could be like reference. So you have to decide what kind of look you want Mr. Grok to be. It's gonna be in the room, and you have to decide on the compositions when he's doing things, and then okay, he's happy, the rocket's almost completed. He flight the rockets, arrive on planet Mars, wandering around. This is quite beautiful, I think. Composition, meet some Martians. The Martians could be like more aliens. Some aliens. Quirky. Okay. Let's run this again. Run this again. So I like the iteration process, I guess. Could be a start of, actually doing storyboards of the whole thing. Try after you look at all these visuals, sit down and recreate the storyboard. Now with your own unique style. 3D. So this is the start. Create with pencil, blank. Always start blank. Draw mode. So image of Grok. And so on, but just an idea. The watercolor has certain style to it. I think hyper realistic 3D style in Blender. If character is not crop, if you change the name into Blender, image of crop blend, quirky Blenderian. Clear everything. Run this. Oops. Run this again. So it's Blender talking to ComfyUI. I think so. That's a kind of cool way it works. So that's ChatGPT, Bard. Dinosaurs, urban Japan Meiji era. It's interesting. Okay, this is the new thing. SDSL 4 steps with LCM LoRA. SDL. This is what the things that's doing the job. In 4 steps, it creates some things like a high quality image. It's not like 100% the original, but it's pretty close, so it's pretty good. And you just need to download the format, you know, for SDSL or 1.5 or Sigma SSD 1B, the one that I mentioned. The next thing I want to try is actually the AnimDiff. AnimDiff is the way you can animate. For each image, you can have maybe like 16 frames to make the image slightly moving. So it's animated, so not like a still image. But that's possible if you are using Discord and go to Pika Labs, and you can make it slightly animated, but you can also try to do it offline. It should work, but still buggy on a Mac. So here we go. This is our randomly generated robot character with dream to go to Mars. This is his imagination inside Mars. What's the Mars looks like, and then flight takeoff. Should be the rocket should take off from Earth, but and then he landed on Mars, meeting some Martians. Not exactly, but it's pretty close. If you are using like Midjourney or DALL-E, you're gonna get more interesting result. Grok, the little robot. It's up with some quirky Blenderian aliens. Let's see. Things about AI, I think it's more like you can treat it like a language or like visual brainstorming. It's all like helping you to hallucinate, I guess. This is a Grok talking to aliens. Looks like Pixar aliens. Blender, that's cool. And bunch of fruits. It's cool that it's actually, because I put Blenderian here and there's a blender there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty random, but that's pretty much it for this video. I guess I just make this video so I understand where I am at this point. You know, it's with my experiment with this AI generations. Hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.